Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Maximilian College Basketball Picks and Analysis for Wednesday, January 21st. I'm your host, Max Hofmeyer, and I've got 3 games to go over for Wednesday's slate of college basketball games. But first, we have to recap this ridiculous 0-3 on the last show on Monday. George Washington up to with 2 minutes left, loses by 5. Chicago State up 6 with 3 minutes left, loses, and Princeton up 9 with 5 minutes, also loses. All 3 of them blew late game leads. So a pretty improbable situation, I would say. So and it's always a good reminder, to focus on the process more than the results. Stuff like that's going to happen, but it's not going to sway me, from any future plays. Like, I'm still taking all 3 of those games again. So, but yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes, as you probably know. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the plays. And for play number 1, going to the WAC for round 2 of Tarleton and UT Arlington. And if you didn't know, the WAC has a reduced number of teams this year, due to conference realignment. So they actually all play each other 3 times in the regular season, which is, I don't know, I think it's kind of neat. Yeah. And so when conference tourney comes around, when people say, oh, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Well, in the WAC, we might get it's hard to beat a team 4 times. And obviously I say it sarcastically because it's not hard, but every year somebody in the national media will say it is hard to beat a team 3 times. And that's one of my pet peeves. But anyways, enough of that debate for another day. In that first matchup, Tarleton won by 6, and it was an earned and expected victory as well. And the reasoning was pretty simple, why we expected the outright win, and it was just because of turnovers. Tarleton, they're first in the entire country in forcing turnovers, and the WAC, a very turnover-prone conference, and UT Arlington, no different. UTA is 357th nationally in turnover rate. So should be a lot of turnovers from their end in this one. Tarleton was plus 11 in the turnover battle. And, they still won that game despite the fact that they shot terrible from the free throw line, only 47%. So I'm going back to the well here and taking Tarleton. It's just a small margin of error for UTA if you're going to lose the turnover battle like that. Hard to win games and cover. So I'm going to go ahead and take Tarleton, who is expected to win that game and hopefully win this one as well. And for the second play, heading to the SoCon, which is a league we've bet this league a lot so far this year. I feel like I'm always finding a play. And, not going to go over this one too much because I talk about Samford, I feel like, every episode. This is the 3rd time we're taking them, and they're still undervalued in the market. At least that's what I think. We took them on Saturday. They covered, but they lost. It was still yet another heartbreaking loss for this team and a game that we expected them to win. And they've just played so many close games, so many games that we've expected them to win and do better. So I do think the tide will turn eventually, and I do think they're still a little underrated. So I'm going to go back to the well and take Samford here, and hopefully they break through and win this one outright. And for the final play, another SoCon matchup, Mercer laying 10 here at home versus Western Carolina. The last time we took Western Carolina, they were very good to us, plus 6.5. They got an outright win, so like to see that. I talked about how this team was kind of undervalued in the market due to their insane non-con schedule that they played, and I still don't think the market has caught up yet to this team. And Mercer, their team, they don't take a lot of great shots. 8th in the conference in 2-point distance. They settle for mid-range a lot, but it really hasn't hurt them, as they're first in 2-point percentage, shooting 57% from 2, which is kind of over their expectation and what they've done throughout the season. And not only their 2-point percentage, but in conference play, shooting 41% from deep. Which some hot shooting here for Mercer. Kind of due to regress here a little. So I think this one is going to be a little closer than we think. And I'm like Samford, I'm going back to the well and taking Western Carolina plus 10 here. So I think we get a close one here. And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe as you don't want to miss any future episodes. Enjoy your College Hoops Wednesday, and best of luck.